Comment ça va? That means how you doing. Me, I'm Tinu, and today we're gonna make a movie. That's right, we're gonna make an animated movie. Well, not a whole movie, more like a scene that could be in a movie. But we gotta find a topic, write a scene, make our props, backgrounds, and even our actors. Then we have to record the dialogue, film the actors, edit the footage, create the sound design, add visual effects, and find someone to write the music for this thing. If not, we're just gonna do it ourselves. Does this sound like a good time to you? Good. Let's get our craft on. Dollar store. One of my favorite places to get random items and crafting supplies is at the dollar store. And I'm gonna try to get a few things that catch my eye and turn them into movie props.
Thank you for introducing me today, Tinu.
I'm sorry, Daddy. Everybody out there in the Craftiverse, this is my daddy.
Yeah, hi. You got a problem here, Tinu. There is no way that you're gonna cover all that stuff you were talking about in just one of these videos. No way.
Yeah, you might be right. I think we're gonna have to break this up into 3 or 4 videos, so that's a first.
I'm just hoping you don't end up boring us to death.
So if you look up at the screen, I picked up a few items at the dollar store. Nothing too exciting, but I can feel this tiny little idea in the back of my head that's trying to get my attention.
Wait a second. You don't have the story written and yet you're going straight into building props?
Yeah, that's not the ideal, but I'm just kind of playing it by ear, and a big thing that I'm trying to learn lately is to really trust that inner crafting voice.
Okay.
Space Rabbit.
Now, I don't know if you've seen the video or not with this guy, Space Rabbit, but I think building a scene around him would be a good way to go for our little movie. So, the spaceship that I'm building is based off of this guy, which is the intergalactic cruiser of Space Rabbit. This is a watercolor that I did a good while back. So this foam ball that I bought at the dollar store for $1 is gonna be the body of the ship. And I'm just marking out some holes so that I can push these dowels up into it. This is gonna be the landing gear. I just sharpened the tips of these dowels so that they pierce the foam and go up in here easy.
Tinu, why didn't you just make one of those big spaceships with all the little things on it and the lights and stuff and make it look real? Like the Star Wars that you love so much.
Well, what I'm trying to make is a bit of a comedy scene, so it helps sometimes if the props that you use lean towards the funny side of things as opposed to being super realistic. Now, I'm not saying that won't ever work, but that's just not what I'm doing here. You see these dowel heads? I'm using these to make the landing gear for the ship. And here I'm using the cap of a bottle to make the little cockpit window. And I want to give a quick shout out to Andy McCarter. He builds these wonderful little robots out of found objects, bottles and garbage, and I don't know all what he does, but they're really, really cool. He just helped me to remember to keep your eyes open and look around the world to see what will fit in your crafting.
Hello, how's it going? I'm Andy.
Great. So now you're making friends with dumpster divers?
I am not going to even reward that with a response.
Well, then I'm going to take that as a yes. Also, it pains me to say this,
I doubt that.
but you're really shooting in the dark here.
Okay.
You don't have a story, and you're already building props. You're headed straight to a brick wall, boy.
Maybe.
But relax, I'm gonna bail you out here. Let me get my notes.
Notes?
Now let's see. I saw that train wreck of an overview that you wrote in your little composition.
Daddy, you went through my stuff?
You know that the kitchen cabinet is a public access area and anything left on it can be accessed by the public, hence the name.
Unbelievable.
Don't make me out to be the bad guy here. The real crime is that story you wrote. Let's not even talk about that. I don't want to embarrass you.
Too late.
So I looked up a few things on the internet last night about writing movies, and overall pretty simple.
Right.
All you need is conflict, and trust me, I know all about conflict.
That you do.
So here we go. This is called a pitch. Ready?
I can't even imagine what's coming next.
A part-time stable boy dreams of being a personal injury lawyer.
No, pass.
Oh, okay, I got more. A sword and sandal drama that takes place in present-day Maine.
What?
Like Julius Caesar meets Stephen King.
Pass.
Really?
Really?
It's fine. I'm just getting warmed up.
Great.
Picture this. A merman rises up from a lagoon.
No, hard pass.
Okay. He's a small-time drugstore owner, part-time welder by day and dancer by night. Also likes water sports.
That is specifically exactly like something else and also incredibly off the mark at the same time. Pass.
It's almost like you determined not to succeed, Tinu. You know that happens, right?
Okay, we're going back to the video here. If you look up at the screen, oh look, that looks like the first color scheme they picked for the Death Star. There are 3 things that seem to work really well for me when I'm writing a story. Number 1, first thing in the morning, I sit down with a pen and a pad of paper and try to really see the story inside of my head. Number 2, just get to work. Start building stuff. I just start moving in the direction I want to go. And then while I'm building, I just play with the idea of the story over and over in my head, trying different things out. And number 3, this piece of modern technology right here is a godsend. Being able to quickly record an idea works really well for me. It's also great for recording musical ideas. Once all those things are in place, I'll write the story out and then flesh it out a little more as I go. Now you might be asking yourself, hey Tino, why are you building 2 spaceships instead of just 1? Well, usually when you're making a movie, they have a thing called a hero prop, Apoxie Sculpt. They have a thing called a hero prop, and then there's the other props. And for me, the little spaceship, that's going to be the hero spaceship, and that's the one that's going to get all the close-ups, and it's going to stay nice, and it's always going to be pretty. And the bigger one, that's my stunt spaceship, and that one's going to do stunts. I'm not sure if you heard or not, but my wife, she paints, and she did this one called Fire Breathin Becky. Look at her. Oh, she got anger issues. I'm also thinking that wearing a bikini and playing with flammables is a bad combo. She's sweet, but there's a catch. Don't make her angry. So that's Fire Breathin Becky by Magwire. I think I might know this girl. Okay, here's something that I've never done before. I've got a sculpture that I'm perfectly happy with, but the arms are all wrong for animation, and he has no limb movement. So I'm gonna have to do some customizing, but to make that craft omelet, you gotta break some eggs. Tinu? No. Yes. So after looking at the arms that I cut off, I've decided that I've just gotta sculpt some new ones. The positions are all wrong. But look, if you twist the clay like this, it gives you like a clot-like effect. Looks like clot.
It's a wonderful example you're setting here, Tinu, to go ahead and break something you already have instead of making something new.
That's not what I'm doing. This sculpture is the one that I wanted to use, and it didn't work.
Whatever.
So I'm just adding wire to make all the limbs have the bendability that I need for animation.
Hey, hold the phone. What happened to the little spaceships? That's just gone now?
No, but since we're doing a whole video about making a little movie, I can use a film term. See, in the edit, I wanted to break things up, so I did do the spaceships first and then customize the rabbit later. So instead of being called a flashback, this could be considered a flash forward.
Oh, like when that guy took off all his clothes and ran around the football game?
No!
6 cops tried to catch him, but he was fast like the wind. I covered your mother's eyes.
Dad, this is a wholesome, family-friendly show.
Tinu, one day you're gonna learn the human body is a beautiful thing.
Dad.
But if I'm being honest here, that guy's body was pretty rough. Oof.
Daddy, a flash forward is a movie term for when we see something in the future, like the space rabbit footage.
No, Are you talking about time travel?
No.
Bummer.
Well, sorta.
Which is it?
It's time travel, but in a movie.
I would want to go back in time and watch when that giant gorilla climbed the Empire State Building.
No, I'm not letting you hijack this video.
He climbed that building with one hand because the other hand he was holding the girl. Didn't have no pockets.
Okay, everybody look up at the screen. I'm using some blue tape here to tape down the limbs. What I did was use some braided wire, and I used Apoxie Sculpt to really lock those limbs into place. The tape's gonna hold it while it's drying. You really want to let this Apoxie Sculpt dry a full 24 hours before bending these limbs around. You just want the Apoxie Sculpt to dry as solid as possible so that it can handle the pressure of the wire bending inside of it. Hello, Clarice. But you knew 24 hours? That's a lifetime. Well, that's why I'm going to show you this amazing trick. You can speed up the drying time of Apoxie Sculpt with a heat lamp, but you have to have a ceramic top, a specialized heat lamp. You can find these at a pet store for under 20 bucks. It's designed to keep lizards warm. But listen to what I'm showing you here. Do not stick a regular light into an enclosed space like this because it can catch fire. The housing will melt, and I need y'all to stay safe. Do you know, why don't you just bake it in the oven? Well, I don't like baking chemicals in the same thing that I make food with. So I leave this in here for about an hour, and it speeds up the drying time of the Apoxie Sculpt dramatically.
Look, the little spaceships are back. Now we're getting somewhere. I was tired of looking at that garbage can. What you doing with that pen?
I'm making a little guide hole or pilot hole for the drill bit so it doesn't slip out. Now, I want to show y'all this wonderful trick that one of you viewers showed me. This guy named Old Sideburns, he said, "Hey, Tinu, clamp the drill down, then clamp the trigger on, and then you can hold your work with both hands, and you don't have to be a fool." And I said, I do not know about this, and I do not know about the name Old Sideburns, but I'm going to tell y'all, this thing works like a charm. So thank you, Mr. Sideburns, gold star. Now, pilot hole. Clamp. Oh yeah. I just do not get tired of that. Now I'm reinforcing the little feet on the spaceships with braided wire and epoxy glue. This is 5-minute epoxy.
Okay, let's see here. If you like the Cajun Craftastrophe and you want to press the subscribe button, hey, how much does it cost?
It's free, Daddy.
Free?
Yes.
Why are you even doing this?
Don't forget to tell them to press the like button.
And also make sure you like the button. Did I get that right?
Not even close.
I'm done here.
Let's prime these up and then put a coat of paint on them. I guess it's no mystery how my bottle got so much battle damage. Now that version 2.0 of Space Rabbit is fully dry, I'm gonna make a few adjustments so that the limbs can bend more. Basically, I'm just filing away at a 45-degree angle, a little material off of the joints so that it doesn't bind when bending. I put a base coat on of carbon black, and now I'm dry brushing on titanium white. Mini Stonehenge. Mini Stonehenge. I'm going to wrap his joints with thread, and the reason I'm doing that is to fill in these gaps, and the thread is going to help keep it flexible for animation. So I'm putting a little super glue and then cotton to kind of bulk it out. Now, a lot of you out there gave me some really great suggestions, and yes, I'm excited to try to get the silicone rubbers and pourable foams. That's going to be crazy. But first, I want to get this technique refined so that it can be done with simple items that you can find mostly in your house. And that way, people who are just starting out can also really get into this. Plus, it's cheaper. Foam and silicone and most bendable materials need specialized paint so that it adheres to it. For this, I'm just using acrylic paint. Now, I changed that up from last time when I was using watercolor. I found that if you really water down the acrylic, it stays very flexible and of course doesn't crack, but the colors are more vibrant than the results that I was getting with the watercolor. Okay, that pretty much wraps up episode 1 of this little series that we got going on here. We got our 2 spaceship props, our lead actor is ready to go, the contracts are signed. We got the stunt ship, we got the hero ship, and I was even able to do a little visual effects test with this guy right here. He's flying. I like the goofiness of this. So on the next episode, we're going to design and create some backgrounds, figure out this little problem right here, and build a few more characters to flesh out the supporting roles. I think you should join me. We're going to have some fun. Hey, you, go get your craft on.